Hi, I'm Ron Werner, Director of Cybersecurity Studies here at Bellevue University. Welcome to Radical Presentations. This is a presentation to help you be a better presenter, be a better speaker, influence more people in a better fashion when you're using PowerPoint or any other type of tool. It's how to have an impact on your audience. Storytelling is a basic aspect of our presentations. The way to have an impact on someone is to tell a story. We've been doing it for eons. Men and women have been using storytelling, so why aren't you? Even when you're telling the facts, use stories as part of being a radical new presenter. How many presentations have you been in where it's been like you're dying? Bunch of bullets that you can't read up on the slide? You know why they're called bullet points, don't you? It's from people shooting at the presenter. Of course, I'm kidding, but you get the idea that presentations have really become overwhelming, where the speakers are totally dependent on their slides. This one here is an example of a slide deck from the war in Afghanistan. Yes, this is an actual PowerPoint slide. And you can see, I think that PowerPoint sucks. Okay, it's not PowerPoint's fault, nothing against Microsoft. It's a tool that is being used wrongly by presenters. And I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. That's why I've developed Radical Presentations, to help people improve their speaking abilities, to be able to have an impact whether you're talking to one person or 1,000. We all have the ability to be better speakers, better presenters, get our ideas across in a more fluid fashion. How do we do this? As I mentioned, radical. Be different. Be a purple cow, Seth Godin's book, where if you were driving along the highway, you would see a purple cow, you'd stop and think. Two other great books, Made to Stick and John Maxwell's Everyone Communicates and Few Connects, are great books on how to make your presentation sticky. Even Aristotle had these right ideas back 2,000 years ago with ethos, logos, and pathos. Ethos is where you're connecting with people and they trust you. Logos is getting them to think logically about it, and then pathos is getting them to feel your presentation. And feeling comes through telling those stories. Another great technique are the rule of threes. You want to have 3 goals to your presentation. You have 3 stages. You have your beginning, body, and conclusion. And then you want to have 3 points people remember. If you were to ask someone a week later what they remember from your presentation, they should be able to ramble off these 3 things. Guy Kawasaki, currently with Google, formerly an evangelist with Apple. When he would present to entrepreneurs and people wanting to give his company money, he would say, use 10 slides, no more than 20 minutes, and don't use smaller than 30-point font, his 10-20-30 rule. Another great technique, and you see it here in these slides. It's called presentationzen by Gar Reynolds. In this, you're using pictures and graphs, large words to get your ideas across. You're not trying to slam everything onto one slide. Use it as a graphical representation because people want to know what you have to say. Another awesome technique I learned through sales training at ConAgra Foods is something known as the Knockdown speech. In this speech, what you're doing is you're concentrating on how you are delivering while you're also delivering your content. It's a very good way to challenge yourself as you are speaking. The first 5 points from a knockdown speech: 1, 3 to 5 second eye contact with somebody. Holding their eye contact, but you don't want to stare them down. Sweeping the corners, looking around the room, using different types of voices. Sometimes using a soft voice to get people's attention, and then using your hands, your whole body as your part of gestures. Facial expressions can make a big difference to know that you are alive and well in this presentation. Even using pauses rather than ums, ahs, and you knows. Moving around, calling people in the audience by name. And lastly, an X factor. An X factor is something different. And in this presentation, my X factor is that the slides go by themselves. This is known as Pecha Kucha, which is Japanese for chit-chat. And it's a form and function of giving presentations in a rapid fire and in challenging format. If you've never done it, I challenge you to try it out. In it, there are 20 slides, exactly 20. Each slide moves at exactly 20 seconds. So your presentation is exactly 6 minutes, 40 seconds in length. That will capture even the most ADHD person out there. You're constantly moving, constantly keeping their attention on what you want to talk about. and what the focus of your slides are. Another good tool to use instead of PowerPoint is called Prezi, Prezi.com, where you can create non-linear slides, because that's a problem with PowerPoint, is you have to click from slide 1 to slide 2 and down. You don't have a way from going to different slides throughout your presentation based on what you want to say. Prezi does that. Lastly, remember that you are the presentation. People are here to see you, hear what you have to say. It's not about your slides. The slides are a tool. Don't use them as a crutch though. Remember, they're here to see you, so you need to look at the presentation from their viewpoint. The only reason to give a presentation is to change the world. That's from John F. Kennedy. So what are you doing to look at the world from your audience's eyes? How do they perceive what you're saying and what you're doing when you're presenting? That can make all the difference in the world and help you become a radical presenter. We want to be like children and show our passion, our enthusiasm in your presentation. If you're just using a monotone voice, forget it. People don't want to hear it. They want you to be exciting, and then they'll be excited with you, and that will help improve their recognition and their remembering of what you have to say. So your challenge today, go out there, try something different, be a purple cow, give radical presentations, try 1 or 2 of these tips at a time as you go out and change your world. Remember, radical presentations. I appreciate your attention during this quick talk. I'm Ron Werner with Bellevue University.